Hey everyone, this is Mike. I'm here in Kyoto Nabe. I'm along our riverbank area. This is where the cherry blossoms, as you can see, are all lined up. But as you can see, today, March 24th, Sunday, there's nothing blooming. There's only one tree that is blooming, and the others are still in bud form. So I don't expect the cherry blossoms, the Ohanami, to happen probably in the next maybe week, maybe it might. But right now, everything's kind of on hold. So I'm sure there's a lot of tourists here, or foreign tourists, Japanese tourists who are waiting to come to different Ohanami or cherry blossom viewing spots. And that's just the way it is. It all depends on the weather. And for a while there, back a couple of, last week, maybe a few days ago, it was getting really warm. In Tokyo, it had reached 23 degrees centigrade, which is about 73 Fahrenheit. And then a day later, the temperature dropped to 8 degrees, which is about 46 degrees, I think, Fahrenheit. So there was a 15 degree centigrade drop, and everything kind of stopped. So it was the cherry blossoms were on its way to bloom. It became cold again, and everything kind of went into, into pending mode again. So right now, you don't see anything blooming. I'm sure that a lot of the tourists who are coming to try and see the cherry blossoms, if they came now, it's too early. And you never really know. It's usually the last week of March, so it would be this coming week. But right now, we don't really know. It suddenly became cold again. Like today, it's about 10 degrees, which is about 50 degrees. In the night, it's still down to low 40s. And it's actually quite cold for this time of the year. So this is a late winter, although they had a couple of warm days. And so again, the cherry blossoms are all still on hold. And I guess it's just a matter of waiting to see when it might happen. The Japanese take cherry blossom viewing very, very serious. There are people predicting from months before, weeks before, and even on television, on the news a few days ago, there was this not ceremony, but this process that they go through. A gentleman who comes from the meteorology ministry, I didn't even know they had one, he goes to a specific certain temple where they have a lot of these sakura, cherry trees, and then he views, and he gives the official okay whether the flowers, the cherry blossoms, are blooming or not. So he looks, and the condition is there has to be at least 5 flowers, not petals, 5 flowers, 5 sakura flowers blooming. And when not 4, not 3, but 5, and when he sees 5 flowers blooming, he gives the official acknowledgement or announcement that the sakura trees are blooming.
The crowd watches closely as the meteorological agency staffer checks carefully whether the tree has flowers. He's looking at the sample tree. He's checking it from a distance. If it has at least 5 flowers, it's said to be in bloom. And the result? Weather official says only 4 flowers have been confirmed, 1 short for announcing the blooming. This woman says she was certain the trees will be blooming today. She's very disappointed. Says you really want to witness the moment of the announcement of the blooming, you might have to come back tomorrow. So commenting on people's keen interest in the blooming of the cherry blossoms.
Now, to me, I must be missing something again. Even after 25 years of being here in Japan, I still didn't understand why that was so important to make the actual announcement. And, as you can see in the news program, there were a lot of people there, a lot of people with cameras, the press were there. It was like everybody was waiting for the announcement and hoping that he would say the flowers, the sakura, are blooming. Now, the question that comes to me is that even if he says the sakura flowers are officially blooming, it doesn't make the flowers bloom any faster, if you know what I mean. It continues to bloom at the same, pace that it always will. So I didn't understand why that official announcement. And why does it have to be 5 flowers? It could be 10, it could be 15. Why 5 flowers? And then you make this official announcement. Everybody goes, yay! Because during the news program, they were interviewing a lot of people who had gone to see, and they were all disappointed. But I'm thinking, you can see for yourself that, even at that temple, that the sakura cherry blossoms were not in bloom. Outside of those 4 that they had, because they only had 4, that's why they couldn't make it official. But people were saying, oh, I came today to see the blooming. I'm really disappointed that it's not the official day. But I'm thinking to myself, even if it was the official day and there were 5 flowers blooming, it's not going to change. You're not going to be able to see the sakura. It takes a few more days, maybe a week for it to become fully bloom. So I think I missed something in that news program, but I couldn't understand. But it was a big deal. The press was there. There are all these people with their iPhones taking photos. They're all looking at this gentleman who is looking at the trees, and all he is looking for is, if there are 5 sakura cherry blossoms blooming, then he will make the official announcement that the cherry blossoms sakura are blooming. And I'm thinking to myself, so what? And then? And so again, maybe not being Japanese, I'm missing something in the translation, or even in the English translation that they had on the news program. Maybe they missed something, but I'm not sure exactly how that works. But anyway, maybe you can see for yourself what you think, and look, and please look at the crowd that's there and the people who came to see, and it was really a big thing. But to me, it was like, whether you announce that it's official or not, it does not change the pace of the blooming. As well as the next day, it could become cold and everything could go into dormancy for a bit, and maybe take longer than you actually planned. So I think I'm missing something,
Here is how the cherry trees looked earlier today in Tokyo. There weren't so many blossoms on the trees. But they are expected to come into full bloom in 7 days or so. Warm weather will speed up the blooms on the cherry trees through this week outside Tokyo as well. Let's see what the weather has in store for the next 7 days. Temperatures have stayed low for several days in Osaka, but the mercury will go up to 15 degrees Celsius or higher from tomorrow through Thursday. The cherry trees are expected to start blooming on Tuesday.